Hey guys, FilthyRobot here, the Arumba, continuing our playthrough of EU4 as Scotland, now Great Britain, and got some questions. So I guess we'll start the episode this way then.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Okay, so I started a single-player campaign on my own, which I will be uploading to my YouTube. So
how dare you?
I know. Just
kidding.
as I tweeted last night, Arumba, you've hooked me on the sweet paradox candy, and now we have to deal with that.
So
which is probably a good thing.
Is it related to the fact that we got our session cut short on Monday? Made you want to play more?
I'm not quite entirely sure what it was related to. I just finally got around to reaching out to Paradox to pick up the rest of the DLCs, and I felt like I finally at a point where I'm like, okay, I have enough of an understanding of what's going on a little bit that I feel like I could at least start a campaign and see how it went.
Yeah.
And I am running into questions, of course, because it's just like you hear it, you play it, you do it with someone else. Now you're doing it yourself, and you have to learn this stuff again. But I have a couple questions for you. Should we start the campaign with that, or start today with that?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm very curious as a new player, because you are still, I would consider to be a very new player, right? I mean, honestly, you won't feel like you know what you're doing until you have 1,000 hours in this game.
Well, I looked. I have, I think I had 50 hours when I started the single player.
Yeah,
50 hours with you. But actually, I'm not even sure how we got 50 hours, honestly, because we have 100. I've not played any on my own, and we have 100 episodes at 20 minutes an episode. I know we're going a little bit longer, but that shouldn't be 50 hours. But that's apparently what it is. So
anytime we spent between episodes, just leaving the game open, that kind of thing. But it's funny. You say I have 50 hours with you. That's so much time. Holy crap! It's hard to believe we spent that much time playing this game already. Yeah. But anyway, okay. So what do you got? What's the first question?
Okay, first question. So I took some land from a neighbor in a war, and I claimed it first, so it cost me no diplo points, and I was adding it to my empire, and I was doing this via making it into coring it first, and then once I cored it, making him into a state. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have two questions regarding that. The first is, I couldn't immediately make all of that land into a state initially, and I'm not sure why. I felt like they all had to finish coring before I could make them into a state. Is that related?
Yes. You have to have territorial cores on land in a state in order to be able to turn it into a state. And so what maybe had confused you is that, let's say that you and I conquer one province in a state that we have no land in. Mm-hmm. And then we core it, we make it into a state because it's a good province, and then a little while later we go to war for another province in that state. Yeah. Well, because we've already made it a state of our country, the interaction's a little bit different this time, and instead of having to do the two-stage process where you core and then make it a state and then core it again, instead, that very first core takes the same amount of time as the regular territorial core, right? 36 months modified by culture group and by claim and other stuff. But then what ends up happening is that you just pay the full price to go straight to a state core. Now, in your case, your question is...
Well, it was a little bit weird, because basically I was coring 4 provinces at the same time. And one of them finished quite a bit earlier, and I wanted to make that one into, and I think I started it earlier because of admin costs maybe or something, I'm not entirely sure. But I wanted to make that into a state, and the option was grayed out. And it didn't become ungrayed out until the other new provinces cored.
Yeah, every province that you own that is in one state has to be at least a territorial core in order to allow you to click the state button.
That's the interesting part. So if I have, okay, got it. Okay, I thought that was, I figured that out after the case, but I didn't know that going into that. So that was the first question. Second question was, I was running into issues with uprisings. So I was getting rebel uprisings, and I had like a 14k army, and it was going to be like a 23k stack or something. So I'm like, oh god.
Just out of curiosity, because this is gonna, I could go check your YouTube channel, but what nation did you choose? What are you playing?
I'm playing as Korea.
Korea, cool. All right, nice.
I just chose them kind of randomly. I liked their bonuses. They had reductions to idea cost or something, which was cool. And I don't remember exactly what they're called, but basically it's the bonuses specific to their civilization were really cool.
Called national ideas.
Yeah, national ideas. So I went through and looked at a list of national ideas and was reading through them. I'm like, this one sounds cool. So I just randomly playing them, and I kind of have a goal. I'm just going to take out the really big guy next to me is my kind of goal, Ming or something. It's my goal.
God. Yeah, okay, good luck. I mean, Ming may implode. There's something you're going to run into called a Ming-plosion or Ming-explosion. It's very scripted and historical. But if that doesn't happen, good luck.
Yeah, I know. As I said, set myself some challenges. I like a challenging game. But anyway, so yes. So that's the area. But anyway, so I'm getting these ridiculous separatists coming up, and I didn't want them to fire because I didn't think I could deal with it. I have a hard time making money. That will be another question we'll come to later. I don't know how much of this episode we're going to spend on this. Apparently a lot, but okay.
That's totally fine with me. I mean,
right.
Hey.
But anyway, so I'm fighting. I don't want these separatists to fire, and I'm looking at all these ways I can put, change the amount of unrest that's coming out of them. And I'm basically out of options for that. I don't want to spend money on bidding a bigger army because I don't want the separatists to fire because I only have like 14k and I'd have to get like, to be comfortable with that, I'd have to get another like 8k about, and I didn't want to pay for 8k more troops.
Mm-hmm. And then maintain them and sit on them for a long period of time.
Exactly, because I wasn't going to go to war immediately after that. I needed a little bit, and all my opponents, except for Ming, all my opponents in that area seem to be very aggressive. They fight each other a lot, but they don't have any military, which is great, but I don't understand. But anyway, so what I did is I raised the autonomy of those individual provinces, and I did this before they were cored entirely, before they were made into states. Mm-hmm. And my expectation was I would be able to go back to the B menu, the builder unit, whatever you call it, the macro builder, mm-hmm. and then head over to one of the estates and give them the estates. And I was expecting one of two things to happen. Either I was expecting the autonomy to go down to 25% or possibly 50%. Mm-hmm. And instead it stayed at 99%.
Yes.
Which is not what I was expecting. Because normally when we gift a newly stated area to a specialty group, it goes down to the specialty group's base, which is 25%, right?
Okay, so your understanding of the autonomy floor is slightly off, but it's very close. All right, so when you give land to an estate, the autonomy floor is set to 25%. That does not affect the actual autonomy of the province at all. So if your autonomy in a province is 99% and you give it to an estate, the autonomy will still be 99%. However, they give the perks of the estate. So like the clergy will reduce the tax modifier penalty from estate, from autonomy down to 0%, for example. Now, if you're at less than 25% autonomy, then that's what that floor does. It floors it to 25, raises it up to the minimum value of 25. Now, the actual thing that you're getting confused by is actually one of the issues I've complained about in the current version of the game, and I still think that Paradox needs to address. And that is that if you have a territorial core, the minimum floor is 75%. Mm-hmm. If you click the button to raise autonomy, because you're temporarily at 75%, you go from 75% to 100%, but instead of it just being based on like the floor, you just took your real autonomy, the real true province autonomy from 75% to 100%. So here's what's happening. You conquer a province, and because it's a territory and not a state, the floor is set to 75. Okay. If you conquer lands with no claim, the autonomy is going to be at 50%. If you have a claim, it'll be at 40%. But again, the floor takes to 75. So if you had territorially cored it first, you would have gone from 75 down to 50 or 40. And if you had then raised your autonomy, you would have gone from 40 plus 25 up to 65, right, or from 50 to 75. The problem comes about where you clicked the button before you had the core, and so it screwed up the math, basically. And the AI actually does this too. They'll raise the autonomy just like you did because, there's unrest there, I can't fight that. And they screw themselves over with really high autonomy. Yep. And you just have to be aware.
30 years, that's a long ass time. So I was a little bit annoyed with that because I misunderstood two things, and I misunderstood what we were doing with specialty groups because and I'm still not 100% sure I understand. So let me just walk through this again. So I get the difference between a territory and now a state, right? So the territory is 75%, state goes down to 40 or 50. I'm not sure what changes that number. Why is it 40 or 50 sometimes?
Claims. A claim gives you a 10% reduction in autonomy.
So it's 40% on claimed territory that I took that became that I've made into a state. That should be that's the lowest the autonomy will go, right?
That's the true autonomy of the province when you conquer it.
When I conquer it. So it will still go lower than that.
Yeah. It'll decay if you're at peace. It'll decay if you have ideas.
When we give it, isn't it at that point when we give it to an estate, doesn't it go down to 25% immediately?
No. The autonomy is still going to be at 40%. Like, for example, you just go to press B, and then go to your development map or your estates map, right 9. Mm-hmm. Go look around the map. You can see there's plenty of provinces. Like I'm looking at Norfolk on the eastern coast of what is now Great Britain. Yeah. We have 27.9% autonomy, but that's owned by the clergy.
Okay.
So if the autonomy decays to 25, it can't go below that.
But isn't it still going below it? And then when we remove it, it's actually below it?
Yes. The true autonomy continues to tick down. The issue you ran into, I think, honestly, is a bug where the clicking the increase or decrease autonomy button interacts with the floors, and it really shouldn't. It should interact only with the true autonomy, because that's what makes sense, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay, so I was a little bit annoyed to see 99% autonomy on these things. That's going to be there forever. And when that 25 drops off, I won't just start at 75, right? I'll have gotten the progress over the 30 years as well.
When the 75 drops off?
So it adds 25 autonomy to the province for 30 years.
Permanently. It just takes it, whatever it is right now, and just adds 25. And then for 30 years, reduces unrest by 10.
Oh shit, I just assumed the 25 would drop off after 30 years as well.
Oh no. However, in 30 years, because you will have had it for 30 years, there will no longer be any separatism in the province, and assuming you have high tolerance and you don't have a lot of like war exhaustion or overextension or issues with religious unity, then you should be able to lower autonomy safely, because you'll probably have about -9 or -10 unrest in a province that's your culture, your core, no separatism. I mean, you'll be able to...
Does it cost to lower autonomy?
Nope. You can click the button in the opposite direction and you'll lower it by 25. You just cost yourself some time, basically.
Okay.
And
well, that's good. I'm glad. I was annoyed to see that, and I was misunderstanding how that works. That's good to know.
Yeah. Oh, no big deal. So there's... I mean, I again, we talked about it briefly before we started, and I said we should talk about this in the episode, because I feel like everyone that's watching this campaign is going to go out and try to play their own campaign, and that is a very common question that's going to come up, and it's very confusing, because you're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
And, yeah. If I could do it, if I was in control, I would make the autonomy value, the true autonomy value, always visible. Any interactions that you have with a province would only affect true autonomy. I mean, I get that floors need to exist, but they should not be a factor at all in these buttons.
Okay. Do you want me to fire some other questions off of you, or should we play a little bit of this episode? Or
let's at least like unpause, and then I didn't realize you had more questions, but yes, I will gladly answer as many as you have. But
okay, well, we could spread them out over the course of the next couple starts of episodes too. That would be fine. That way we get some actual gameplay happening. We'll still get the questions answered.
I like it. Let's do it. Okay. So you wanted a land war. We did a land war. We won it. Now we're beating up England, and we've just ferried our entire army onto the mainland. We ferried it all because we were concerned that if we end up fighting a force we can't win against, we don't want to shatter and then get stack wiped because we only have half of our troops here or something. Yep. So that's why we put them all over here. And I guess. You go ahead, just go kill something, go siege something, do whatever you want. I don't care.
All right. So what? So I was expecting W to give me this, but it's not. Where it gives me the force limits on these tiles?
The supplies are
R.
And if it's not R, then it's you got to press R again, because at least in my settings, R toggles between supply and autonomy.
Okay. Which
I assume you're still using. You may have started to tailor it to your own personal stuff.
No, I have not. I like the hotkeys as they are. I'm not ready to mess with those quite yet. I'm already struggling enough with remembering all the different modes on there. All right. This is a 15k stack that I wouldn't mind engaging. I don't think we can get there ahead of them. They're going to get there they're getting there like tomorrow.
They're going to Champagne on the 26th. We can be there on June 9th.
Yep. And I guess there's no benefit. There's no downside of fighting them there. It's just an even fight, right? So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, if you can try to track them down. They're probably going to be able to get away, but I think you're probably going to want to go after some of these forts up here. Stay near...
I mean, the other thing we could do is stay right where we are. It looks like that 13 stack is shattering to us.
No, they're absolutely 100% shattering through us.
Oh, but we can't. I thought if we were on the tile they engaged, you chase 13 stacks. So when you chase shatter stacks all the times, what you're actually waiting for them to do is to regain 1 tick of morale wherever, or finish their shattering and then kill them.
Usually,
it's not like you just get in the way.
Yeah, usually what we were doing is either getting in the way, like in, say, the Straits of Denmark, we were blockading, cutting off their path, and then they had to stop. They couldn't shatter any further. Or we knew from experience that they were shattering only one province over because they had no destination they could shatter to. In this case, he fought in Normandy. He has military access through the French territory there. He's got a fort in Picardy, which gives him zone of control through this whole area, so he's not movement blocked. He's going to shatter probably to the northeastmost coast of his land, which is going to be Holland or Breda. It's going to be well behind the forts. We can't get to it.
Okay.
And again, you know it's shattering because that little mail icon or whatever in the top right corner. So yeah, I think you're going to want to stay to the north, stay away from Castile, let France waste his manpower on that, and just siege down some stuff. Best way to end the war quickly is probably going to be to knock Burgundy out by taking his capital.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Yep, the capital will vastly affect their war enthusiasm. And actually, never mind, the capital's already been occupied. It's Burgundy. Bourgogne.
Is there an easy way to find capitals besides zooming in and looking for the crown?
Yep, you click on any province that country owns,
Yeah.
While you have the province dialog open, you right-click on their flag, go to capital province. Zoom as close in as you can before you click the go to capital province, and it will zoom right to it.
Also, okay.
And annoyingly, this fund doesn't actually highlight it, although I feel like it should.
Yeah, it ought to highlight for sure. 100%.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. Let's unpause. And then if you want to keep asking questions, you can, or you can wait till next episode. It's up to you.
I'll wait till next episode. We'll get a little bit of gameplay done. What the fuck just happened here? Okay, it's shattering through us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there goes granted generalship. Pomeranian separatists just occupied Stettin. That's fine. They'll teleport. Hopefully one of our allies will take care of it. Okay. I just got an event, which is weird. Did I accidentally take the events position? I may have. I
don't think I have an event. I thought I joined second and clicked after you, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I may have accidentally clicked on it before clicking start. Anyway, for the past couple of days, we've been entertaining a guest from the Royal Court of Bohemia. Royal family in Bohemia will learn of our pleasantries, and we got 10 diplomatic power, and Bohemia likes us by plus 50.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, England is being an idiot and just pathing a cannon and an infantry right through our army. That's nice of them. Nice job. Yeah. Good work, Filthy.
Thank you. I just casually stack wiped that with overrun. No problem. Okay.
So this is great that Burgundy's capital is already occupied. His enthusiasm is going to be very low already. I would probably even...
I'm trying to see if I could set up for that stack over there. If I get into this area. So he's got a bunch of forts over here, unfortunately. I'd go in here and stand in it. We're probably not going to be taking any fights.
I mean, we still can't see. Did you notice in your single player how when you're in war, you can actually see the estimate of the total number of troops on the...
No, I didn't.
In the war, the war overview. It's so much easier. I was using
the ledger to check ahead of time. I hadn't looked after that. So.
Yeah. We can piece out Saxe-Lauenburg if you want.
Let's take a look. I keep even after that one episode of playing single player, I keep trying to hit space to pause.
Yep. It's a lot more convenient. But it's disabled in multiplayer for fairly obvious reasons.
Let's go take a look. Saxe-Lauenburg. They are... Oh, we don't have a diplomat 3. Yes, we do. So I can quite... Oh, it's the wrong page. I got a super piece. Let's take a look at what they want. Or what they'll give us. Actually, they're pretty negative right now. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, they're a one province minor up near Denmark, and we have them full occupied. So...
Yeah, they're not real pleased with life at that point, you're saying.
Yeah, no, they don't really want to... Yeah, no. So you have a couple choices here. We already have serious issues with aggressive expansion in the coalition, but that's not changed. We could just keep going that path, or we could try to back off from that a bit. Because the Emperor is Bohemia, and he's in this war with us, and he's also our ally, if we wanted to take land from within the Empire, the Emperor can't really do anything about it. So you could separate piece Saxe-Lauenburg and just take his province. However, it would be a separate piece with diplomatic point cost and a lot of aggressive expansion because it's inside the Empire. Or just piece him out for like money, prestige, war reps.
Yeah, I'm looking at a 35 peace offer value, war reps, all of his money, and annuls treaties with England and Munster.
Okay.
And I could probably even go higher. I could probably end rivalries if we want. I mean, I guess it gives us prestige.
Yeah, I would definitely consider that because we would like to be as close to 100 prestige as possible for as long as possible, so we can get our aggressive expansion to decay and.
All right, I can get a 95 piece deal with double end rivalries. We'll get 20 prestige by that.
Well, kind of. It says 24. Hover over the 24 though. Remember that
where does it say? Where does it actually say this? Okay, yeah.
At the top, yeah. We only get 11.7 because it's based on participation in the war. So if you go to the war overview, you can see that right now we have 48% participation, so we're only getting 48% of the listed prestige. So what I would probably actually consider doing is I don't really care if this little guy is allied to Brittany or Burgundy or whoever we're fighting, England. Instead, I would piece out
for more ending of rivalries.
Yeah, like because the Brandenburg thing, you're paying 10 war score for 1 versus 30 war score for 10.
I wasn't taking Brandenburg at all.
Oh.
I was doing the other two, ending with England and Munster. So I guess if we subtract that one more, I can't get this. It says you cannot get German tribute that requires more than 100% war score. So what are you clicking to get the third end rivalry in there?
Well, I got rid of the actual direct cash because we're only getting half of that as well.
Oh, I see.
So I would take the war reps and then 3 end rivalries. That gives us 32 prestige net. We get 15.6 of it. But he won't agree to it yet.
Because okay, exactly. He wouldn't agree for me either.
Yeah, because he's got -5 reasons, but within a couple months he'll agree to that. And I would go that route because we really do want prestige. Like this is the time where prestige is the most valuable.
Do we want to go siege down some of his forts?
That's your call. You're suffering attrition though. I don't like that.
No, I don't like that either. I guess I could move around. Can at least move back here for now. Figure that out. Do any of these southern ones got supply limits? We can just keep.
Oh.
I'm just gonna cheat. What's up?
I don't know how this happened, but I accidentally forgot that we have 8 more troops on these boats. So there we go.
8 more troops.
Yeah. Actually 9, because there's another guy that we trained late, apparently. There we go.
We're gonna keep them close.
Yeah. I think you're gonna probably want. I mean, average supplies is what I usually do. Kind of more of like a mid-level experience type thing. You press the R key, you're looking at the supply map mode. You can either do it with an army selected or just kind of hover your mouse around. But take a sampling, like a sampling of 10 provinces that are not coastal, and try to figure out the average supply for this time frame in the game. So like, when I look through France, I'm seeing 18s, 22s, a few that are up in the high 20s, but I'd say that the average is probably around like 20 or so. So
Dude,
I would try
France
to.
is like 30. So what are you talking about? Like,
yeah, but look in the southern area of France. You've got 21, 19. There, right? Hopefully not.
But I do see your point. Like up to Burgundy, it's all in the 20s. Like,
yeah, so at this point then, I mean, if you took the 9 stack and the 28 stack, you've got like 37,000. Yeah, go like 2 18s or 2 19s, roughly around there. Keep them near each other so they can reinforce, but try to stay below the average supply of the time frame.
Right.
So
I did check the one we're in right now, and it does support what it doesn't work 28. It's 28 to 7. Damn.
Yeah.
So if we're 1 over, do all of our stacks take attrition?
Well, we've actually not really spent a lot of time talking about exactly how this math works, but if you hover over the skull on the army, on the province, like actual map, you can see unit weight is 26, supply limit is 26.6. So even though you are over the supply, the listed supply of 26, because our general has 3 maneuver, he's applying a -3 supply weight reduction, taking us from 20. Actually, yeah, we have 28,000. Oh, he's got 3 maneuver, and it's only reducing it by 2. How'd that happen? That's weird.
Well, due to siege, it says +1.
Most likely the siege is actually increasing the supply weight by 1 as well. Weird math happens. Basically, maneuver reduces the supply weight by a little bit. Now, you are suffering 1% attrition on the entire army just to siege down a single province.
Split it up in a second. Yep.
So, yeah, if you want to...
That's not a fort siege. That's just a regular siege, right? Yeah.
True, but you're pretty likely to always suffer 1 attrition tick, even if you take just a singular province. So, like, if you're trying to get loot, you'd want to move a single, like, 1 or 2 armies in there, siege it, and then move the rest over to suffer no attrition while you loot. But, yeah, you got it. You got this, you're good. So we did talk for like 10 plus minutes. It is already time for break, unfortunately, but can you believe it?
Yeah, right.
But I hope that you guys in the comments down below, you guys found value in his questions, and I'm sure that some of you may wish for more gameplay, but for me at least, the purposes of this series are to answer questions from a new player.
Series,
so I want to keep doing it personally.
Cool.
But we'll be back tomorrow.
See you guys soon.
See you in a bit.
Thanks for watching.